What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology Retold action, spawning in the top of the map in the green color, playing as Gaia from the tag team. His name is Recon. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a 3v3, one of the highest level 3v3s here in the purple color, playing as Poseidon. His name is Illuminati, and then finally rounding out the team in the maroon color, playing as Isis. His name is Ulysses. On the other side of the map here, in the blue color, playing as Isis. His name is Tunison, and his teammates in the red color, playing as Zeus. It's Grass. And in the orange color, orange-ish color, not exactly sure what this is. Let's lock in orange because it's goldish. It's Null Raw. I think this is Null Ra, Lundberg. Nonetheless, we do have a map here. We have Giza, as we are already seeing a whole bunch of hero citizens coming through here for Recon, opening up with this this build that we saw kind of popularized a little bit in Genesis. If you ask me, I still don't rate this build, but it makes it really, really safe for you in the early game against a lot of pressure. And what is better, having very safe economy that your opponent can't really kill, or having a little bit more resources? And Recon's going to be saying the resources are important here. Now, this is a 3v3. It's going to be very, very challenging to keep up with all the stats. Now, we can run through and just check out things here and see what these players are going for. If you want to take a look at this left side of the map here, you will see, or screen, you'll see the Flood of the Nile coming through here for Tunison. More hero citizens we've got for... See, this is challenging. I don't even know who's player 2. Nullra, he's getting himself that Hammer of Thunder, and then all of those Flood of the Niles are going to be coming through. Now, another thing to take a look at here, if you're wanting to follow along with a little bit more detail, is you can take a look up. Can you? Maybe you can't. I thought... Oh, yeah, there we go. You can take a look up at the UI here, and you will notice when players are going to be advancing through to the next age. So you will be seeing that player 6 here. Yeah, player 6 here, Illuminati, he's going up through Hermes. Meanwhile, I have to jump around and figure out where everyone's going. Got the Athena coming through right now for Grass. No ceasefire. Not really much surprise there, but it's not a terrible idea to be doing so. Moving forward here, Recon here, he is going up through Oceanus, as we're still seeing the Isis players and the Thor taking their time here. I mean, this makes some sense because it seems to me like, with the very limited knowledge that I've got of Retold team games thus far, it seems to me that one town center play is going to be king here. So advancing later with more stuff, economic upgrades, monuments, and all that, to squeeze out a small advantage might be the way to go forward here. But Anubis versus Bast here, as we see Ulysses going through Bast as well. And then finally rounding everything out with a very, very late advance time here from Nullra. He's gotten only a handful of upgrades, in all honesty, for this advance time, but he does have a lot of ox carts out and a lot of efficiency going for the start of this game. Meanwhile, we'll take a look inside these main bases here, as Grass at the moment, he's going to be opening up with a stable. So he goes for the Athena, but he's going for double stable. A lot of the reason for Athena here is teamwork. You can class Restoration on 2 people, and it can be really, really useful. Obviously, on the other side of the map, Illuminati not actually having access to that Athena, but going through Hermes is also very, very nice as well, as he's going to be grabbing both pickaxe and hand axe here, and going to be looking to start spamming out those hip here. So over here for Recon for the time being, counter barracks and counter barracks. So it's that double counter barracks. I like the idea of going for catapulties here in the team game with Oceanus, just on the fact you get weightless mace, that's fast. You can also get yourself channels and start expanding out that Gaia Lush all over the place and start helping out your team with dealing with those raids. On the bottom side of the map here, if everyone can keep up, we are seeing monuments coming up all over the place here for Tunison. He has not yet really done all too much with this Anubite, but has he gotten himself Has he gotten himself Necropolis? No, but he does get it queued up right now. So I like that idea for Math's favor. It looks like he's actually going for a town center down on the back here as the centaur coming through for Illuminati. Going to be looking to check out the town center or the settlement coming up on the bottom here. Now, making a raid with a Pharaoh over here is going to be a little bit challenging for the time being, as a forest fire getting dropped down over onto this position. Doesn't really do all too much, just hitting this. Does the economic guild go down? That was close. I can't believe how close that was. Excuse me. Meanwhile, on the bottom, the town center is up. No problems where that's concerned. And over here for Ulysses, he is already on the way here through Nephthys for the time being. Showing off some skills here with that very, very fast heroic gauge. Meanwhile, over onto this side, we have that Sphinx going to be checking around for Ulysses, looking for things to take out as the obelisk going to get torn down onto this position. Meanwhile, onto the center of the map, we've got Grass starting to move across the map. He does get spotted, though, by Illuminati, but it is a fairly scary army. This is 4 medium Hippias. Now, there are now 4 medium Hippias in for Illuminati. He's got the heroes on this position as well. He probably could take an engagement if he wants to, but still going to be a challenging one for him to actually make that happen. Meanwhile, onto this position, we've got the raiding cavalry searching around right now for Null Ra. And over onto the bottom side of the map, Scorpion is in. Villagers moving out and around. Going to be looking for something to drop here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a super early Ancestors Eclipse coming down. Going to be hitting the economy of Tunison incredibly fast here. Villagers going to be garrisoning away as the Sphinx is in. No serious damage has been hit just yet by Tunison, onto Tunison here as Ulysses trying to take these villagers out. Going to be diving into the town center over onto this side, retreating back as well. But we've also got the raids hitting up onto Grass's villagers there as Illuminati kind of getting caught out. Priest going to get spawned through to try and help out here. Meanwhile, onto the bottom side of the map, we're going to see that Pharaoh getting sniped down by the minions, getting pulled back there as well. Will it be enough? It looks like it's not going to be enough onto that side. Meanwhile, we've now got Catapulti's heroes coming in for Recon. He's going to be dropping himself that Carnivora onto this position, but immediately going to get bolted down as more cavalry coming through. But with the Catapulti's in onto the back here, this is going to be lights out for the Hippias of Grass onto this position, as well as the Minotaur easily going to get sniped down there. The myth units for Ulysses is going to have to retreat back there as well, though he does have all the support, so it's not that big of a deal. But Tunison's been hit in a big way. He's got that back gold mine. That's looking nice. He's got the towns, and he's got it all going, but double Migdol Stronghold now up for Ulysses. He's got the siege works through as well, and he's going to be looking to put some more serious pressure in onto Tunison. So he's going to have to work hand in hand right now with Illuminati to try and make something happen, as the raiding cavalry of Null Ra, they're going to get sent packing for the time being. Meanwhile, we do have that prosperity coming through for Tunison here. If we take a quick look at what this is, he's got 20 villages. It looks like he's trying to get to the heroic age. Has a lot of resources where that's concerned. Meanwhile, over onto this position, the raid's coming through for Recon. Recon for the time being here. Is he looking for the next age or not? I'm not 100% sure. Let's have a quick look here. He's got himself enough resources to go there, so he will be heading up. He's going through Thea for the time being, still searching for those raids. It makes a lot of sense, because then he can just transition over into Contarius, and now he's got some real big raiding threats as Ulysses starting to push forward right now. He's got a whole bunch of those camel riders. The siege tower going to be rolling forward, as well as Tunison here. He is going to be in some very difficult trouble. He is going up through Nephthys for the time being. We're also now seeing Null Ra going up, but he's going through Bragi, so no supportive Skadi play for the time being. As the Catapulti hero is coming through, you can't really engage this with those raiding cavalry, because they're going to get taken out incredibly quickly. Double Caladria in for Recon, as well as the fighting here for Null Ra is just not going to be going well in the slightest. Now, the good thing remaining here for Null Ra is he's got that Dwarven Gold Mine able to be cast. He needs to wait for the Heroic Age to get max value out of it for the time being here. Nullra, for the moment, moving up onto this side, going to be looking for some Illuminati villagers. He is up onto this position, chopping wood in the middle of nowhere, as he's going to be searching for something to take out. Running into the main base would go a long way, as we have seen Plague of Serpents going to get dropped down as a little bit of a delay tactic here, but Illuminati in this space is going to be causing a lot of problems. Where is Grass for the time being? It's the Raiding Cavalry checking out over here. We've got that Hesperid's tree getting dropped down, and now Tunison forced to drop Ancestors to try and hold on in this position, and Illuminati and Ulysses, simply put, will just retreat back here. But this does give Tunison the time to make all this happen. Meanwhile, do we have anything coming through here for Grass? I'm not seeing a whole lot happening for Grass in terms of population. What is he doing here? He's got 93 population only. Where's his army? He's got a lot of Hippias getting built up. Remember, he's still got that restoration in the bag here for a big fight. The Catapulti Heroes for Recon still searching for blood here. As do we see any sort of movement away from this now from Recon? It's looking like he's still going for infantry units for the time being, still going for those Catapultis. As the army for Ulysses still looking to push forward, he's still on one town center. As now we see a little bit of an engagement, but pure Berserks now coming through for Nullra. Now he doesn't have access to Mithril Breastplate as he's gone through Freya, but the Berserks are still going to be strong here. As long as Mass Mamilo don't come through, they're going to be very, very useful. But the Stymphalian Bird here, there's no counter for this one at the moment for Nullra. It's going to be a very big challenge as the Hippias are now moving across the map. We've got the Hippias on this position searching things out. The Pegasus has spotted those villagers on that wood line, and Grass is out for blood. He knows he can pick off nearly every single one of them. Illuminati's army well and truly out of position. If let's take a quick look at Illuminati's perspective here, he's got no idea those cavalry are coming through. Meanwhile, over onto this position, we do have the big fat flaming weapons going to be coming through here onto this spot, and we'll be able to clean up all of Recon's units here. Recon making a retreat away as Grass is going to be moving in very, very shortly. Meanwhile, Illuminati and Ulysses sitting underneath the base here, and as the Illuminati villagers get spotted, Ceasefire gets dropped down. Doesn't want to lose those villagers sitting out in the middle of nowhere. Going to bring them back into the main base, but Grass is going to be attempting to make their journey a little bit more challenging. They should be able to get back to the main base here. We'll see if that's going to be possible or not. But man, Grass is still after blood here. He wants to get some value for this big Hippie Ascend. Not going to be entering the base for the time being. As there's just so many siege towers now built for Ulysses. And Grass, he needs to get over in here and support. Restoration with a double onto this spot would be gigantic. Now, Nullra is in a great spot now as well against Recon on the other side of the map. But these Ulysses siege towers are just going to clean this base up very, very quickly. See if he's going to be able to somehow manage to defend it. But going into Spearman, Chariot Archer, Slinger is not going to be the best of defenses for him. We see the Jason coming over to help. Villagers shanking down. They get a huge bonus versus those siege towers. As the restoration for Grass going to get dropped down onto this position for the time being to help him through this difficult fight. Jason needs to get over here and get onto that Scorpion, man, as the Hippias in the center of the map from Grass still looking for something to take out, but there's just nothing there for the time being. All the siege towers, however, for Ulysses have been taken out, and Tunison, in a big way, holds that push, as now he's going to be able to start putting some revenge fire in, and now it's actually looking like Recon is going to have his work cut out for him. He's technically in front against Nullra for the moment in terms of economy, but how long is this going to last? You're playing against Thor. The Thor is only going to get stronger and stronger and stronger, especially now he's Bragi. He's going to have tier to come through at some point here. Now, there is potentially an idea for a gigantic amount of damage with Implode. So if he can get like a 2-3 person Implode, man, that would be a huge turnaround as we see Bronze getting dropped down. The Chariot Archers now getting collapsed in onto as the Catapultis now coming through, and they are going to be very scary to these Chariot Archers. Grass needs to retreat out the other way. He's moving. We see the The Hippias retreating away up to the top there as well. A couple of Centaurs going to be joining in onto this fight to boot here. And now we see Null-Ra taking this opportunity to say, hey, if you're not going to defend yourself, I am going to enter your main base and I'm going to start killing you. Whole bunch of those Goaties are out to try and snipe down the Dryads onto this position. Meanwhile, the army of Grass trying to push back against Killuminati, but Killuminati's got the numbers advantage for the time being on this location, though the Hydra should get some value here, but with that Theseus involved, it's going to be too little, or too much there, I should say, as the raiding cavalry searching up onto this spot, checking out the gold mine, which Killuminati wants. However, Killuminati, he's on the front gold mine, completely safe there for the time being, as Null-Ra still trying to look for a little something here. I'm genuinely shook at just how little these players have gone onto the town centers. Tunison is like the only player in... No, we've also got a town center for Recon. Tunison and Recon are the only players with 2 town centers at the moment in this team game. The amount of chaos going on here is just insane, as Killuminati now spreading out all over the map for the time being here. Obelisk getting sniped down. We've got the Spearmen starting to move forward here, as units are going to be retreating away. Hippias getting sniped down onto this position as the army going to swing in over here. The villagers fort. Tunison just simply going to garrison inside of that Migdol stronghold. The army is just not in for the time being. Spearmen still getting thrown to their death here as markets coming up. Villagers going to turn around and start fighting here. They do have themselves that hunting or survival equipment, so they can turn around and actually fight fairly reasonably. You can get that one when you get into the heroic age, as the villagers popping back out of the Migdol stronghold, trying to repair this one up. And that now just means Killuminati will have to retreat back. Market on the back here, still under a lot of pressure as the Hippias going to be diving in. One priest here, enough to take out that Centaur onto this position. That's very, very big. Meanwhile, over onto this spot, we've still got those Grass Hippias looking for something to kill, as the Berserk say it's time to go here. He can kind of get away with just throwing Berserks away, so long as he can get value from them, because they're all going to be giving him 1 favor per death. Which just means, as the game goes along here, Null-Ra, he is going to be moving up in favor. He's already got that 133 favor for the time being here. Meanwhile, they're still seeing Killuminati searching for things, as Prodromus are going to start coming through for Grass to try and deal with this, as the Mythic Age is hit for Tunis. And on the back here, Ulysses finally getting himself a 3rd town center. His army is still sitting out on this position trying to push forward, but there's just nothing to grab. We see Grass is on 2 town centers, as everyone is going to start increasing their economy very, very shortly. And the main base here for Recon, it's very much open, as we see another temple coming up on the front. Could be mass battle boards to try and push through here, as Recon is going to be struggling to defend. He's got a lot of catapulty heroes here, but these are mass catapulties. They are not going to be cutting it against these Berserks in the slightest, as the army coming back in onto this position here. And will Son of Osiris be enough here? Bronze getting dropped down, as Killuminati and Ulysses are making a gigantic push here. 2nd Ancestors coming through here, it seems, for Ulysses to boot. As we see another Tunison Ancestors coming in as well. Son of Osiris popping out. He ignores those units here as well, as we've got that restoration coming through to help keep the army alive. And not only that, with the mummy out, he has spat that damage onto these cavalry, which means a whole bunch of those Tunison minions will start coming through. He's got 7 minions on this fight. That's absolutely huge. But the Son of Osiris has been collapsed down onto Tunison's town center, is still living with 500 HP remaining, as the siege tower on the back does end up getting taken down. And Tunison looks to me to have almost held here. Son of Osiris out onto this position for the time being, still helping out here, but Killuminati and Ulysses refusing to retreat back. Where is the army of Grass for the time being? It is nowhere to be seen here. Son of Osiris trying to be the one army show here in an attempted offense, but Killuminati has dived onto that one for the time being, as the town center in the middle of Tunison's base is going to be going down. Meanwhile, onto the top side of the map here, the town center of Recon has fallen. Are we going to start seeing a little bit of a base trade starting to happen here? The big difference difference, though, is that Recon has still got a fairly sizable army cooking for himself as more Berserks are going to be charging through up onto this position. Prodromus trying to come through for Grass in an attempt to hold. The Son of Osiris still alive, can still get that value in as he's going to be getting those huge amounts of chain lightning damage in onto that spot. As Null-Ra getting very close to breaking through here, but those Berserks pulling back. He's going to get more Berserks in. Is there any fourth age coming through? It looks like there is a fourth age actually for Tunison. Obviously, he's already got that Son of Osiris out, but no fourth age for anyone else. I want to see those resources invested into the Thor. Now, we haven't talked about this, but in team games, you can open this up. You can tribute resources. Now, unlike in Legacy, tributing resources does give you a little bit less, but it's still super worth to invest in that Norse player to get to that Mythic Age, specifically get to Fimbulwinter here, which he doesn't have access to just yet. Nonetheless, onto this position, the base of Tunison is going to be falling, which is meaning that a big challenge is in front of Null-Ra. He basically needs to break through Recon faster than Ulysses can break through Tunison here. But the actual story is, how many villages did Tunison actually lose here? Let's take a quick look. What's he sitting at? He's at 56 villages compared to over to 92 villages for 83, 86, 56, 81. Yeah, he's very far behind. Tunison is in a very rough spot right now. Though, does he still have the Son of Osiris? Yes, he does. So that can be a big assistance in him holding for the time being. As up onto this position, the Hippias are going to be charging forward here. Meanwhile, through onto the middle side, we see all those farms have been pushed off, but there's just no siege. There's no... Well, there is a battle balls. Battle balls are basically siege weapons, so you can chuck that onto the town center and take it down, but the fortified town center is up for Recon as more units are going to be piling through here. Meanwhile, on this spot, it looks like Illuminati, he's got a Petropolis on the front trying to break through. Illuminati's still on one town center, it seems. He needs to get himself that second town center at some point here. Where is he at? He's got the resources for it, but he's not wanting to drop it just yet. As the Siege Tower is going to break everything else up. Son of Osiris coming through here to help defend. Going to be getting some damage done, but the Chariot Archers, they see this and immediately start targeting the Son of Osiris down. He has gotten himself out of position, and there goes the Tunison trump card for defending this position. Ulysses will have to retreat back for the time being. There's too many mummies here, so he needs to get some priests out to make his push or get his Son of Osiris out for himself, which might give Tunison the opportunity to grab this town center back. But the actual problem here is that Grass needs some support. Grass needs help to hold this spot. And the town center of Recon does fall as the army going to be charging forward. Those Carabalister are really strong here at dealing with infantry units, as we see some hero Carabalister also going to be a great support, not only to get bonus damage from whatever, what is this, 6 damage to 4.5, so it's a significant boost there, but also they can take out those battle balls and everything else, which means that we're probably going to have to see some sort of transition away from pure Berserks into getting some of those cavalry units in. It's now Tunison. He's still trying to make a push forward. Ulysses is up to 3 town centers. He's also got eyes on this town center as well. Tunison going to be trying to get his own town center back over onto this position, as well as now we do see Null-Ra. He is going to the Mythic Age through tier, which will be absolutely gigantic. A handful of those heavy rating cavalry will make it through, and that's going to make those Carabalister very difficult to use here, but nice kiting from Recon. He's pulling back into this choke point beautifully, as even with the counter units, there's just not enough for him to break through the Carabalister for the time being. I mean, this might be the first time I've ever said this, but it seems like these Carabalister are doing pretty well. Nonetheless, town center in the center still hasn't come back up, but Fimbulwinter will immediately get shot down. The question is, do we see ceasefire? Answer, no, not enough favor in. This Fimbulwinter is going to do a ridiculous amount of damage all across the map here, hitting all the villages. Illuminati not diving in to his town center just yet. Now going to be hitting that town bell, bringing everyone in the main base over here as well. Ulysses is going to be losing villages left, right, and center. Not clicking that town bell just yet. Meanwhile, on the front though, the siege tower is getting pushed back. It's looking as if Tunison and Null-Ra able to start making grounds here. Illuminati also has to put a little bit of a stop on his forward offensive as the Previ Prodromus numbers are now starting to look very, very scary for this mass cavalry army. The big difference, however, is upgrades. We see both players. Well, we see one player here has got his upgrades. The other player does not. No Thracian horses in for Grass, but Thracian horses is in for Illuminati. That's going to be a little bit of lifesteal there. As Nullra now still trying to break through and take out those Caraballister. If you can see them there, he'll definitely charge forward. He's also got both of the Hesperidge trees for himself here, as the Caraballister is going to be making that run back to the choke point over there. Absolutely love that little defensive resource which Recon is using here as a raiding cavalry searching for something up at the top side of the map. We do see a cheeky little palace here as all of the citizens need to make a break for it inside of the palace. He's grabbing this town center on the back as well. As Illuminati could potentially take the two middle town centers as well, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. As Tunison somehow looks like he's back up to full population. He's got 4 mummy visors in and a ton of units. He's in a fantastic position right now. However, the raid's now starting to come in onto Nullra. A little bit of support coming the wayside of Recon, but a very, very cheeky Berserker conversion here to get a little bit of return fire. It's not going to be enough, but it will allow the rest of the villagers to retreat with some safety here. As now we see Hera coming through for Grass. Is there any other Mythic Ages? Not just yet, but the Hera is coming in. Oh, we saw Illuminati. He's gone for... Did I miss it? Did he already use it? He's gone for Earthquake. No, he hasn't used it just yet. So we see a Titan Gate getting dropped. A Titan Gate already getting dropped down. Where? On the front. This man has no shame. Titan Gate coming down for Nullra on the front right now. If that gets spotted, that's Earthquake. It's not going to be a... It actually might be a dead Titan Gate if it gets spotted really quickly. Nonetheless, we're still seeing the raids coming through. You can... definitely Earthquake the Grass Town Center here. Not a terrible idea in the slightest. Meanwhile, over onto this position, more units going to be joining in to try and help support on the back. But remember, those Mummy Visor, they're just so strong. And he's also got that Scorpion Men in to support as the army dives forward. Champion Cavalry coming through. The Thracian horses helping out a ton to keep the army alive to survive against that true damage of the mummies, but the damage is still coming through nonetheless. We've got the priest coming in as well, as the Earthquake now coming down onto the front position here for Nullra's. That town center is much gone. Up onto this position, we see Grass returning back onto this gold mine, noticing that, well, Recon doesn't have that much economy going for himself. In the main base over here, the Camel Riders in, taking villagers out for Illuminati. And in that moment, Recon decides to tap out. Illuminati and Ulysses are quick to follow suit here. And this game, Nullra just shows the Thor power, in all honesty here. He makes it work. And he's able to survive the onslaught of Recon. Now, obviously, Recon here, he was scared of mass cavalry coming his way, but he teched into the catapulties, which I actually liked quite a bit, but there needs to be some sort of answer for those berserks as well, which makes it very, very challenging. So maybe the answer here would have been, or the more simple answer would have been to just go for the Murmillo, Bite of the Shark Murmillo, and just take the L on the move speed a little bit, maybe spread Lush all over the map so you can kind of defend your opponent, your partner's base, or get across the map easier. I don't know, but it didn't seem like Recon could quite make use of his power. Ulysses and Illuminati, huge push in onto Tunison. They actually did kill quite a few villagers, but in the end, it just was not enough. And a great hold for Grass here as well, not falling to the might of Illuminati's mid game here. Let's take a quick look at that post game, showing off exactly what that looks like. We'll look at it from the team perspective here, just to show how close this game really was, with Grass, Nullra, and Tunison really only taking a big advantage after that Thimble Winter kicked in terms of resources collected. We take a quick look at the stats here in terms of units killed. Obviously, Recon with a ton. It says my name because I'm the recorded game viewer, but tons of units killed here for Recon, but villagers killed not really there. And that is the big thing And I think a lot of this, that 92 kills there, 80 kills for Illuminati is impressive. He almost single-handedly raided his way into his team having equilibrium in this game, but it just was not enough. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, you enjoy the team games, definitely let me know. I'll be posting more of these as they come through. It seems like the team game bug is going to be hitting top players, and these are some of my most favorite games to watch is high-level team games with really, really good coordination, and it seems these guys are going for it. Nonetheless, if you guys, just let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.